What? What the hell? First things first.
You gotta go slow, babe. Okay, nails time. This is crazy.
Wow. It's coming right off.
What accent wall?
Well, I can say one thing. We got really lucky that the wallpaper was just a stick-on wallpaper. It wasn't actually paint-on wallpaper like we did in our closet. So it was a super easy removal. Not really a whole lot of cleanup we'll have to do to the walls. There's a few holes that we'll have to patch. That was just a ladder. There's a few holes we'll have to patch before painting, but everything looks great. Next step, we're gonna go ahead and prep this room for paint. We're gonna go ahead and put paper down on the floor, start the sanding process. Hopefully do not get lead poisoning throughout this, and we will refreshen this house like it should have been done in the first place. So right now we went ahead and prepped the trim and it's ready for paint. We sanded it down, we cleaned it up, went ahead and put a bead of silicone to kind of clean up those lines. Next thing we're gonna do is tape off the trim along the wall. And since we like the dark accent wall that was there with the cheap wallpaper, we decided to go ahead and go with tricorn black on the trim and the wall. So it's gonna look really good. It's gonna be a lot of drama, guys. So our plan is to go ahead and paint the trim first. So it's the next day, also day number 1. So last night we went ahead and finished up the accent wall trim. And if you take a look right here, of course it looks a little sloppy because we went onto the wall, which we're gonna paint the wall the same color, tricorn black, but it actually came out a lot better off than what I thought it was gonna come out, especially since we brushed it instead of spraying it, so it came out really nicely. So what we're gonna do today, since we have to let that dry off before we can move on to the next trim, we're gonna move to the blue room and we're gonna cover up a lot of the sloppy work the previous owners did. And you say sloppy work, what do you mean? It doesn't probably look that bad in camera, but I'll give you some close-up shots right now to show you what I'm talking about. Basically, we're gonna go back with a naval blue, so it's very similar to the blue on the wall now, but it's gonna be a lot higher quality paint. It's gonna look a lot better. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing? Same thing.
I feel like we're in Breaking Bad right now. Also, another thing I'm gonna tackle today is actually doing a little bit of siliconing and caulking the walls before we get to the painting portion. And why would I do such a thing? Look right there. All the little cracks along the trim, I don't know if you can see that or not. By caulking all the transitions from the trim to the wall, you have a nice seamless transition where it looks like it's all one piece. When caulked and sanded all the upper trim in this room, so we're about to get that ready for paint. Caulked and sanded that part of the trim too. I actually just taped off all the baseboards. My plan is actually using a different technique. It's actually, if you can see here, I don't know if this is a good wall, but you can see all the little cracks where that connects. Put a line of caulk right here and basically just run it right there and pull the tape off so it gives us a nice clean line. After I went ahead and caulked all the trim lines, it took a little bit of time, but it came out really good. Nice sharp lines. Now we finally got to painting. And so look at this. So here's the naval blue on the trim. It looks so good. Probably easily one of my favorite colors. Just check this out. Let's grab the light setup we got over here. Just look at that. That's just one coat, so obviously we got 2 more coats to go. But man, look at the color difference. It's such a rich color. It looks amazing.
Sherman William Naval, right?
Naval.
Naval, yep.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Day number 2 has claimed 2 pairs of socks so far. We're doing coat number 2 in the blue room. It's getting kind of dark. Old house, not much great lighting. Went ahead and started on the office trim, and we're painting the office trim alabaster white. We're gonna do the trim and also walls and ceilings alabaster white. Sounds? So we started off the next day. I went ahead and primed the archway back there, which eventually we're gonna put some French doors to kind of separate the house from the little courtyard, little light room area. So I did that this morning. Next thing I did was I went ahead and caulked all the seams in the main living room. So after a few hours of painting, I can hardly hold the camera right now just because my arm's just shaking the whole time. But let's go ahead and look at the work so far. So we painted all that nasty antique yellow color, all alabaster white on the trim. And trust me, I know it looks a little sloppy because we're gonna paint the walls alabaster and the ceiling as well alabaster white too. So it's coming out really nicely. And guys, look at that contrast between the black accent wall and the white. Looks really good. So one more coat to go, and I think we're gonna call it a day at that point. We're about 30 hours in total invested into this house. Day number 3 out of all of them, so we're making some good progress. So day number 4, just got off work, and my slave over here has been working hard at work because she was off work today. So let's go see what she has accomplished today. So she went ahead and finished off painting the whole entire front room. It looks amazing. Look at that. Alabaster white looks so much better than the old, I don't even know what color that was, like a yellow almost, antique yellow. It looks so much better since we went ahead and cleaned up those seams like I was showing you guys in the last, or same video, just the day before last. Looks so good. And I will go ahead and show you guys what we're up to right now. So, since we finished up one room completely, we decided to finish up another room completely. And this room is a little bit bigger though. So this is what we're working with right now. Here's the dining room. Went ahead and taped off all the trim. Cassandra right now, she's cutting in close up to the trim. And we're about to paint the walls naval blue. So we're excited to see this room completely done. I'm gonna go to Sherwin-Williams. I'm gonna pick up some more supplies. I'm gonna start on the rooftop. Three, two, one. All the hard work is finally paying off. Just take a look at this room, guys. The naval blue along with the alabaster white on the ceiling made a huge difference. I mean, look, here's before and here's after. Before, the paint job was so terrible. It was almost like an ocean blue color. And the paint job, I would say, is kind of spotty. You could see a lot of the light spots. You could see a lot of the brush strokes because they used small little rollers, so you could see where it wasn't one continuous like paint. It looked terrible up front. They did a terrible job, but now everything looks like it's nice and uniform, and the sheen and the color, it just looks amazing. It really makes it pop. And the alabaster ceiling, I wasn't actually gonna paint the ceiling at first because it was already white, but I'm really glad I did because it really freshened up the ceiling, made everything look really clean and brand new. So there's a few little areas where we need to touch it up, but besides that, this room is done. Next thing we gotta start on is, since we're talking about bold colors, we're gonna go ahead and start in the living room right behind me, and we're gonna paint this wall tricorn black in 3, 2, 1. So we came back the next morning and we went in and checked our work. The wall came out amazing. The tricorn black by Sherwin-Williams looks really nice. It has 0 undertones, so it's a completely dark black. It's gonna make a really nice accent wall, and the nice contrast between the alabaster white is perfect. But we're actually gonna take a break from working this weekend and head down to Austin, Texas, the home of Four Hands. They have a 40% sell in their outlet store, so you're getting high quality furniture for super cheap, dirt cheap. We're gonna hit the road now and hit the Austin, Texas. All right, so on the road to Austin, and well, we may or may not make it without a blowout on the way. The tires on the U-Haul trailer look terrible. They almost look bald, and also on top of that, there's no spare tire. One of the turning signals is actually out on the right side, so it's gonna be a very interesting drive all the way to Austin. So we got a 7-hour drive ahead of us. Let's get to it. the one reason why I hate coming to Texas. It seems like there's always some type of wreck or traffic stop. It's constant. So even though it's only gonna be a 6-hour drive, every place we go to, doesn't matter if there's 4 lanes, 5 lanes, there's always going to be backed up traffic. I have no idea why, but it's just, I guess, Texas drivers.
Hurry up, all the good deals will be gone.
Where are we at?
Four Hands Home Outlet. You crazy?
Calm down, calm down.
What? Are you coming or what? Come!
2 hours later.
So 2.5 hours later, we might have bought some furniture for the house and the Airbnb. Is that the grocery list, or is that furniture?
Furniture,
Oh,
maybe.
God. Looks like we're eating at McDonald's after this. Can't afford anything else.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
We just loaded everything up from Four Hands. We might have bought too much stuff, so let's go ahead and look. Here's the back seat of the Raptor. Here's the back of the Raptor. And I'm not gonna open this thing up because it is completely full. And I'm afraid if I open it, everything's just gonna fall out. This thing is completely packed super tight. We bought so much furniture. We actually had to return a couch because we didn't have enough room for it, because I wanted to buy it for the Airbnb, but there's not enough room to take it home. We have a 6-hour drive to go, about 6.5 hours. It's gonna be longer since we're gonna be driving pretty slow. Here's the problem.
Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
All right, so it is the next day and we are back in the house. Now, right behind me is all the furniture that was in the back of the U-Haul. So here's probably my favorite item, is gonna be my desk over here. Just in one of this little cabinet. You have a bed frame partially there. We have an entryway, little bench to take your shoes off. We have a couch, a media stand, grand dining table, 4 chairs, coffee table, 3 rugs, and everything that is from Four Hands is super heavy. I mean, we got a workout last night. This bookshelf right here weighed about 300, maybe 350 pounds. It's made out of oak. Actually, probably the heaviest thing is that cabinet over there. That was super heavy. The desk itself probably weighs around 300 pounds as well too. Everything is super heavy, very well built. And if you go to the Four Hands outlet in Austin like we did, I can almost guarantee you will find good prices like that. We actually looked at the original prices last night and we tallied it up. We saved an average of 75% off the MSRP price of all this furniture in here. So this is what we're doing today. We're gonna paint the office and the main living room. Walter White over here. Before, after. For some reason, this is not one to cut on. So, problem number 2 in the house already. We've had this house, what, 20 days? No, 14 days at this point. We already had 1 gas leak with that guy over there when we first came in here. Now, for some reason, the lower furnace is not cutting on. Let's go downstairs. I don't really know too much about furnaces, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. All right. So after doing a little bit of diagnosing, we made sure we were getting an electrical source to the furnace. And we have a red light, steady red light. So I'm looking at the wiring diagram here, and it says right here, steady on red, control failure. That is great. 2 weeks in. So we just finished up painting all of the downstairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a tour and show you a little bit before and after. First room we have is the entryway. Before it was a nasty, almost antique yellow color. Now we have it alabaster white. Looks much cleaner overall, much brighter. Then as we come in to the main living room, we have the black accent wall, which we painted. It was originally green that had wallpaper that was peeling off when we first bought the house. Here's how it looks now. It looks really good. And we ended up finishing off the lower floor, the living room, painted all alabaster white. Makes a nice contrast with the black. Here's a little office space, and here's my favorite room of the whole entire house. It's so cool because you can literally have the windows open. It looks like you're outside. It's the backyard. You can kind of see front yard, backyard. Makes it really nice. This is gonna be the office space, like I said earlier. But it looks really good with the alabaster white, with the black accent wall. And to come over here, and we have the dining room, which we painted over the ocean blue they had in here, and we painted it naval blue. Ended up painting the ceilings alabaster white as well too. Alright, so we went ahead and finalized the lower level floors. The living room and the dining room came out really nice. The house looks night and day different. And in person, it looks much different. In the next video, we're gonna go ahead and move upstairs. We're gonna repaint the whole entire staircase. We're gonna paint the master bedroom and start working our way upstairs so we can finally move into this house. And I have a little bit more news on the garage coming up in the next video as well too, because that's in the works in the background. House is coming along, 1 week into it, and everything's looking good. I know we ran into a few problems in this video, along with the furnace, the gas leak. I didn't mention it, but the sprinkler system was actually leaking as well too. So about a week and a half into it, and yeah, we've had 3 problems, but everything happens in threes, so we should be good after this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video, comment below, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.